U.S. President Joe Biden flies to UK amid concern over cluster bombs. Biden is facing criticism over his decision to send the controversial weapons to Ukraine, which could cause civilian casualties and violate international law. Iranian rapper Tumaj Salehi sentenced to 6 years in prison, avoiding death penalty. Salehi was accused of insulting Islamic sanctities and spreading propaganda against the regime in his songs. He was initially sentenced to death, but his lawyer appealed the verdict and got it reduced. Shiniest exoplanet ever found has reflective metal clouds. Astronomers have discovered an exoplanet that reflects 90% of the light it receives from its star, making it one of the brightest objects in the sky. The planet, called WASP 189b, has a scorching temperature of 3,200 degrees Celsius and is likely covered with molten iron clouds. Police assessing whether BBC presenter committed criminal offense. A BBC presenter has been suspended by the corporation after he was accused of paying a teenager for sexual images. The police are investigating the allegations and have not yet made any arrests. The fate of a protest that toppled a president. A year ago, thousands of Belarusians took to the streets to demand free and fair elections and the end of Alexander Lukashenko's rule. But the regime cracked down brutally on the opposition, forcing many activists into exile or prison. What happened to the protest movement and what is its future? France bans buying of fireworks for Bastille Day. The French government has banned the sale and use of fireworks for the national holiday on July 14th, citing security reasons and the risk of fire amid a heat wave. The move comes after rioting sparked by last month's killing of a 17-year-old by police in Nanterre. U.S.-China talks a step forward in relations, Yellen. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said that her talks with Chinese officials in Beijing were a step forward in improving bilateral relations, but acknowledged that there were still significant disagreements on trade, human rights, and other issues. The baker helping Ukrainians find a new life. Marcus Wells is a retired British engineer who moved to Ukraine and opened a bakery that employs refugees fleeing war and persecution. He also helps them with legal advice, language classes, and integration into society. Protests across Israel ahead of vote on judicial overhaul bill vote. Thousands of Israelis have protested against a proposed law that would give more power to the parliament over the appointment of judges and limit their tenure. The bill, backed by Prime Minister Naftali Bennett's coalition, is seen by critics as an attempt to undermine the independence of the judiciary and erode democracy. Women made to strip in Kenyan cheese factory over sanitary towel in bin. A group of female workers at a cheese factory in Kenya have accused their employer of subjecting them to humiliating strip searches after a used sanitary pad was found in a bin. The women said they were forced to undress in front of male colleagues and managers who threatened to fire them if they